What's up, everybody? Before we get into this video, I gotta put my ad in there real quick. If you guys want to join S1RP, you can head down to the description of this video. The link will be there. It'll take you to our website where you can read about it. The application's right on our website. Now, it's not very hard to get in. We just have an application so we can stop the trolls. But other than that, if you guys want to know a little bit about the community, everything's on the website. The least you could do is just read about it and see if it's a good fit for you. It's a very good place to be. Very awesome, very lax. Obviously, me and my friends created it. So if you guys like me, you like my videos, you're probably gonna like the community, right? So that's just my little ad. I also have a link to my website if you guys want to see more of the stuff that I created, cars, devs, all that stuff. If you want to check out some of that stuff, it's up there. Also, if you want to ask questions or you have any questions, you can leave comments, but Discord is the best way to get to me because that's obviously what I'm on every day. My videos, I only check YouTube like a few times a day, so like it might take a few hours to respond to your comment. So that'd be the best way to contact me is through Discord. But with that being said, let's get right into this video. Before we start, I want to show you guys what you're gonna need. So the links are going to be in the description if you want to work along with me for the vehicles. We're going to use a Taurus, we're going to use a Valor light bar. So if you want to get those, you can go get those, pause video. Also, what you're going to want to use this is just the folder here, Non-ELS. You can get these files from downloading pretty much any Non-ELS car. So I'm probably not going to add it in the description because like you can literally just go download a random Non-ELS car, get all these files. And all you got to do is just edit them to make sure that I use Notepad++ just because it looks pretty. You can use your normal text editor that comes with the computer, but you just have to edit it to where your model names are what you want it to spawn as. So like I just put Non-ELS because it's a tutorial, and then that's pretty much it, at least for that file. Your car variations, this one you do have to make sure that your siren settings value is going to be the same number as your Carcos file. So right here I have it as 1 million, which is just a random number I put up there. And then same thing, you come to the Carcos file and then you'll see here ID value 1 million. So that's all that matters. You just have to make sure those two match, and then that's pretty much it. And then as for the Carcos file, a few things you want to understand is your sequencer here, your beats per minute. That's what BPM is. That's just how fast it's gonna flash. So I have it at 450 because that's like a decent speed, but you can make it slower if you want it to last longer. You can make it faster if you want it to like flash really fast. It just depends on what you want. I think 450 is decent, so that's why I have it. And then you have these values for like the lights. So if you want damn, I forgot what it's called. When your headlights flash with the lights, right? Like if you want that to happen, and you can change these values. I have it on 0 because I'm not gonna really worry about it right now. It's just a tutorial. But if you're gonna make a full like pack, you can change these values to like 1, or I think it's just 0 and 1, depend like for it to flash, or maybe there's a pattern you can put here. I'm not 100% sure on that because I don't really use them, but I'm sure if you want to use them, it's very easy to do because it has nothing to do with the actual Non-ELS lights, and that's why we're here. We're just gonna do Non-ELS. Non-ELS, what you have to worry about is the sirens. So you see here siren 1, siren 2, and it goes all the way down to siren 20. So you get 20 sirens, which you can do a lot with depending on how many emissives you actually attach to each siren dummy, which you'll understand a little bit more as we get into it. But really all you have to worry about is the flashiness. Then you have your delta value, which is if it's going to rotate or not, which you'll understand more as we go into it. Your sequencer, which is like the actual pattern, which I'll show you too. And that's pretty much it. And then that's pretty much it. Oh, never mind. The scale factor. I always use scale 10. Some people use scale 2. So you can use scale 5. It really just depends on what you do in Zmod. You'll understand more as we get into it, but I use scale 10, so you'll see what I'm saying. And then the color too is another thing you'll need, which that also brings me to the next set of files you'll need is the cheat sheet. So if you open up the cheat sheet, or actually I'm not gonna open it in that, I'm gonna open up in this because it looks a little bit nicer. So the cheat sheet, this is what I was talking about. So you remember that delta file that we were talking about, or that delta line? That's where you put these at. So if you have no rotation, it'll be 0. 180 is 3.14, like the pi number is pretty much what that is. And then 90, negative 90 is just the same number, but negative or positive. Then you have your colors here. So you'll need these if you're gonna be doing these colors. If you guys want to just pause the video and type this stuff up, you can. It's just a nice cheat sheet to have. And then this right here is the link that I use. This is how I change binary numbers to decimals. So this is basically what your pattern is going to be. So if you do like flash off, 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 you'll have 32 numbers you can go up to. So I'll show you that as we create the pattern for the car. But that 1 means it's on, 0 means it's off. So then you convert it, and then this decimal number is what you put in the Carcos file. So you'll understand more when we get to that, but right now I'm just kind of getting you guys familiar with these things. Another cool thing to have is light IDs. I just wanted to add this to the video because it's really cool to have. It doesn't really matter for non-ELS, but same thing, if you guys want to pause this and create your own, you can. As you guys can see, these are just the light values for these specific lights. So like daylights is always on, 0, and then so on and so forth. And then as you can see, the dummies. The good thing too is you can make any light work like these as long as they have the dummy in it. So you don't have to attach the light to the dummy. You just have to have the light. You just have to have the dummy on the car, and then the light will work with the car, if that makes sense. Doesn't really necessarily matter because it doesn't have to do with non-ELS. But if you guys want to have other tutorials for other things, you can also let me know and I'll create more tutorials. But this is just for like it is, just for non-ELS. So anyways, now with all that being said, we can finally get into the video where we actually work on a car. And then more of these things will make sense as we go. All right, so here we go. I just imported the car. Well, I opened the car because it's already in a Z3D file. If it's not, you'll have to import it, blah, blah, blah. There's a little bit more to do, but like I said, this is a non-ELS tutorial, not car tutorial. So we opened the car file. Same thing, we got the valid light bar in here. That's what it looks like. It's just a valid light bar. I'm sure you guys know what that looks like. So you don't really need the car anymore because we're not editing the car. We're just, oops. That's just the LODs. I didn't mean to press that, but we want to be on LO because that's going to be the closest LODs. So this is the highest definition or detail. So that's what the one you want to work on. But you can just untick the car because we don't need it right now. Then you want to open up the Valor. You can see how this Valor light bar was actually created for ELS. So that's why it's got all these extras, but we're making non-ELS, so we're going to end up changing all of this. But what you want to do is anything that's bold like this means that it's got compounded. So these are compounded, which is what you have for the LODs. So you want to dismiss it, so that way you can actually edit these. And then I'm just going to go on and delete the LODs for it. Like that. And then those are the hot feet. And then you have the siren glass, mounts, and then the light bar. And there we go. Actually, what I'm going to do too is I'm going to just take everything out of their dummies. Like that. Then, oops. There we go. So these are all the dummies right here. So we can just delete those. So we're gonna have to create new dummies anyways. So now we have everything here and like here. So what you want to do is find, what is it, extra 5? Yeah, so extra 5 is the takedowns. So for non-ELS, usually you do extra light, extra light underscore 1. Now, I usually keep my takedowns as extras because in this sense, let me put it this way. In like a Liberty light bar where it uses its own module for takedowns, you can use extra light 1 because then you just turn your high beams on and it comes on, right? But because the Valor uses the light in front of the actual light emissives, the way GTA works, when you turn your lights off, the emissive or the texture itself still stays, but it just doesn't emit light. So if you use extra light 1 for your takedowns and your takedowns are in front of the emissives, you just won't see anything. Like the car would just, it'll look like the car, just the lights aren't on. You know what I'm saying? So I always use extra 12 for my takedowns if I'm using a light bar like this, where like, you know, whatever. And then we in our server, we have scripts where we can easily activate extras, so I can easily turn my extra on for my takedowns. You'll see what I mean when we put the car in the game, but for right now we'll just do that. Then these are extras too, so we'll go on and attach those, which actually we can do that right now. So what you do is you just want to untick everything first. So like what we're oh fuck, I didn't mean to do that. Just untick everything, then go here. So now we can pretty much attach all that together. So that's what you do. You just come to your attach tool, you use one of your other screens. So like I'm using the left right here. You zoom in, click it, bam, attach that. Then you use your front, so you can attach the ones in the front too, and just go like that, bam. So now your extra 12 is your takedowns. So that'll pretty much turn on all your takedowns. So we can put that at the bottom because now we're done with it. And then, so now what we want to do is we want to take everything, so that way we can highlight it, because now we got to put it on the car. Because remember, it's still above the car. See that? So now we got to bring it down, move it around so we can make it look good. I'm not gonna make it perfect because it's not like a full pack. Like I'm not trying to make a pack. I'm just trying to show you guys how to work Non-ELS. So we're just gonna put it on the car like that, and then, you know, it's supposed to be like centered, so it'll be about right there ish. Actually no, it's because this band here, this is like the light bar band or strap, whatever you want to call it, and that usually goes in between the door. So like where the doors are right here, that's usually where that goes. So it will probably look about like this. It really just depends. Like you can kind of put your light bar wherever you want. Like it really just depends on what you're trying to do. But that's pretty much in the center of the car. So that way people can see the back of it and people can see the front of it. And yeah, that's pretty much it. It looks pretty good. We'll roll with that. Like I said, it's just a tutorial on how to work Non-ELS. We're not trying to make this perfect. You know what I mean? We're not making a pack right now. So that's, yeah, that looks good to me. We'll just roll with that. Something tells me that oh, you know why? Because it's at the bottom. Never mind. If I put it on top, okay, there we go. So it's still there. For some reason, I thought I didn't have it selected, and I thought it was still up here, and I was gonna have to bring it down, but it worked out. So now that that's done, we can untick that again. So now what we're gonna do is we're gonna take the light bar and we're gonna untick those, the hot feet, so that way we just have the lights. So now, well, actually what we're gonna do is we're gonna do the lights afterwards. We're gonna just set up the light bar first, so we just get that out the way, because that's the easy part. Not that the lights aren't easy, but you'll see what I mean. So let's just go here. We'll untick all of those. We'll take these, except the light bar glass. We don't need that yet. And then same thing what we did with the takedown. So let's just attach all these together, because we don't need it. So there you go. So now you just have this as the light bar base. And then this, I usually make extra, I usually make this extra one, because that's your light bar. So if you're gonna do a car and you have like what do you call it, advisor lights, so that way you can go from slick top to light bar, right? Like that's why I make it extra. And then like your advisor lights would be like extra 2, so you can turn on your takedown, or not takedown, you can turn on like your light bar. It depends on what you want to do. If you want to rock a slick top, then bam, you have a slick top, right? You just turn it off. So then same thing here, light bar glass, you're actually gonna name it Siren Glass 1 is what you're gonna name it. So that's the glass. So that's why you want to name it that, so that way, you know, it'll have glass. And then you're gonna make a collision for it too. We'll get to that in a second, but I just want to show you guys, like, that's what you have to do. Then you want to highlight it, go to display, go to reset to world, click it. It's gonna put it back in the middle of the world, and then you're gonna come here, center local axis to object, and then you click that, and then it's gonna put it directly in the middle. And then that's what you want to do. It doesn't really necessarily matter for objects like these. It does for when you're doing the actual lights, but for these it doesn't necessarily matter. But that's just because I got OCD, so I want to put it in the center, just make it look good. So there you go. So now those are done. Now we're gonna go to the lights. So these here are the hot feet. So we don't necessarily need to worry about those right now. We're not working on those yet. We want to work on these. So these are the actual lights for the light bar, right? Which actually we could kind of, depends on what we want to do with the pattern. So what I think I'm gonna do is we're gonna turn off the amber lights real quick. And I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna highlight one. What you want to do is you want to come to polygon mode, right? And then you go to detach polygons from objects. You click that, and then you just click somewhere on the screen. It's gonna put you in polygon mode. And I think I'm gonna detach these. Oh my god, it's saving. Auto saves, they save your life. Don't get me wrong, they save your life, but they're annoying sometimes, especially when you get to bigger projects. They take a lot longer to save. Okay, so now we have those two detached. So if you come back to the hierarchy, you'll see here that you have extra 2 there and you have extra 2 there, because those are detached. And then I'm gonna do the same thing with the other side. Polygon mode, it's already on the detach mode. And we're gonna go here. Make sure you want to make sure you don't highlight these, because then they'll detach those with it. So there you have it, bam. So now we have those set up, right? So like data flash, and so on and so forth. So then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take the amber lights here, right? And I'm going to, well actually, let's go on and untick these other ones so we don't get confused. So we just have the amber lights here. We're gonna take these amber lights. Oops, I didn't mean to do that. Gotta highlight it first. Actually, we're gonna do one at a time. There we go. So I'm gonna take these amber lights, same thing, and I'm gonna detach these 2 here. Same thing, bam. Highlight that, bam, bam, bam. There we go. So now we're just trying to set it up to where there's only 4 sirens a piece, because then, you know, that's usually what I do. I use the first 4 sirens for the light bar, then I do like the second 4 sirens for what do you call it, visor lights, and then so on and so forth. Then we just kind of go down the list until we hit siren 20, depending on how many lights I have on the car. So now this comes down to what we want to flash together, right? So if we untick the 3, so let's go 4. So those 2 are gonna tick together, and then let's do oops, the other extra 2. Where is it? Right there. So we want those to flash together. So we're gonna do, yeah, we're gonna attach those together. So those are gonna flash together. Here, let me leave those on so I can see what else I'm messing with. So we got that. Ooh, that's the wrong one. I gotta find these things because I didn't name them. Usually I like change the names of them so like I know what I'm messing with. But I didn't do that this time, so like right now I don't know what I'm messing with per se. Where's the other? Oh, there it is. So that one and that one. So there we go. Then we're gonna have these 2 flash together like that. So let me put those down there. So now you have those, and then the other ones here, those are just flash. Those will just flash by themselves, or like it'll be a cool looking pattern. But I mean, like those have its own like flash. So that's pretty much the light bar right there. So you have your 4 sirens. So now we got to figure out which ones are which. So this corner piece here will make that siren 1. So you just name it siren 1, just like that. That easy. Oops. And then that will name siren 2. Bam. And then we just have the front parts here. So we got siren 3 because it's red. And then this one would be siren 4. Siren 4. So there you go. So now we just have our 4 siren parts. And that's what we'll run with. And then we still have our hot feet. So, oops, that's the light bar. So we still have our hot feet. So we gotta figure out what we want to do with these. I usually just do like a cross pattern. So we'll just attach these to each other like that. And just have them go across from each other. And then we want to attach these 2 here. So let's say, so we have the big blue, and yeah, so the big blue and the small blue will attach together. And then, oops, wrong one. Oh yeah, we had it right. Okay, so then we'll attach these to that. Bam. So now we have all 4 of our sirens done, which is pretty much the whole light bar. Now obviously If this wasn't a tutorial, I'd do a better pattern, but it's a tutorial. I'm just trying to show you guys how this works. But I would do something a little bit cooler than just, you know, a simple like flash back and forth. That's pretty much what this is gonna be. But I just want to show you guys that this is how it works. So now that that's done, so we already have our extra 12, so that stays on top. Then you have the light bar, which we're gonna go on and show you guys that you gotta LOD these. So what you do is you go here, you highlight it, or actually you don't have to do that. You can just, I do this. So you just highlight both of these and you just go here, edit, copy. Now you have a copy of those, and you go back here, convert to dummies. Then you take this extra one, you put it in there. You take siren glass, you put it in there. And then you go back to here, you unclick LO, you convert to compound, and you gotta lock it right here, extra one, lock it. So that way you can still use it when you grab something. And then you have to click LO, so that way it knows that you're putting this model into LO. And bam, see that? Then you just unclick LO, you unpause, or you unlock it. Then you highlight over siren glass, compound, lock it, LO. And that's pretty much how you LOD stuff. And if you have more, then you'll just click L1 and you drag it into L1, L2, drag into L2. But we're only doing L1 because it's just a tutorial. So now those are compounded. That's all you need right there. Now you want to do a collision, which a collision, we're just gonna do something real simple. We're gonna take a box, you know, put it on top like this. And then bam. Then we just gotta find the box in a different view. As you can see how big the box is, so you just grab it. Make sure you're just gonna bring it up a little bit, about right there. Then you wanna come to this edge mode, which allows you to edit edges. So you highlight the edge, and then you bring the edge up to like right there. Maybe bring these down a little bit just because they're a little high up. I ain't trying to be perfect. Like I said, doesn't matter. Then you just go back to your normal mode, and then you have it. And then copy this, and then you want to make it extra one. Oops. And then you want to put these little square brackets. I don't know what they're called, but square brackets. And you want to put COL. That just means collision. Bam. So that's gonna be the collision for extra one. Then the same thing. Oops, not extra. My bad. Siren underscore glass one, and then same thing, the box, bam, and that just makes it a collision. So then you untick it, you click collision here, and you convert to compound. That creates the collision for it. Then you click down here, same thing, convert to compound. You can unclick the collision. Then you just put that in extra one, and you put the siren glass one into siren glass. And you're also gonna put siren glass in extra one. You gotta make sure the collision's at the bottom though. That's how that works. So come on, get in there. There you go. So the collision for the extra is always gonna be on bottom. And then you also want to make sure that the glass is under the emissive. So once we finish these, you'll see what I mean. We can also put extra 12 in there because that's done. So there you go. You have extra 12 now. Then we can just close it and then untick it. So now we have all of our sirens here. So here's where the nitty gritty stuff comes. This is where we actually finally get into non-ELS. Because all that other stuff was just like construction, just kind of putting stuff together, deciding what we want to do with stuff, whatever, blah, blah. Now we're going to finally start doing some non-ELS good stuff, right? So what you want to do is you want to highlight it, because you see how our dummies are like in weird spots. Well, at least this one is. I think these are in the right spot, but you want to come here. Well, actually, you want to center to world first, just because it just makes it look cleaner. And then bam, now all the dummies are in the correct spot, right? So what you want to do now is you want to come down to pivot, right? Turn that off. And then depending on, we want, what was it, 1 and 2, right? Yeah, we want 1 and 2 to face the other direction because of the fact that they're going to be rotated. So what we have to do first is we're going to come here and we're going to copy these, and then we're going to convert these into compounds. So then now they're all their dummies, right? And then we're going to untick these. We're going to take siren 1, siren 2, right? We'll untick those. We'll take siren 1 and siren 2, and we got to rotate these. So we're gonna take this, we're gonna rotate it 180 degrees. So now it's gonna look funny. It's okay, because it's non-ELS. It's gonna look funny. Then you wanna make sure you highlight everything, right? Now, or before we highlight those, oops. You wanna take these, put them in their respected dummies. Like that, which we can actually just put everything in their dummy. Why not? And then we want to highlight these because now you can see how the dummy got rotated, right? Because we rotated it. So that's when you come back to display and then you're going to go to reset. Wow, I couldn't say that for a second. Reset the parent. So that means that it's going to copy the way that these dummies are set up. There's another auto save. We're going to let it save real quick. Going to do its thing. There we go. So if you highlight this, you can see how those dummies are set the correct way, right? So when we untick it and we do it again, bam, you see how it just turned? So now what's gonna happen is, this is what I was talking about before when we were talking about the rotation. So I will show you in a second. So now what's gonna happen, we go back to this folder here, right? We go Non-ELS, we open up our carcals file, bam. And we scroll down, remember it was Siren 1 and Siren 2. So we're gonna go here and you're gonna see what I mean, right? So flashiness, delta, right? So we gotta go back to our cheat sheet. See, rotate 180 degrees. So you're gonna copy this number, right? Go back to your carcals file, delta right here. You wanna highlight it, right click, paste. So now what's gonna happen is when you turn your lights on, the game is gonna rotate these lights back around and it's going to be normal. It's going to appear normal in the car. And so that's why you want to do that. But the reason why we rotate it is so the emissive shows up behind the car, because we want the lights to be behind the car, right? Because we have 4 sirens. So I do 2 to face backwards and I do 2 to face forward. So it looks like there's 300. Well, yeah, it looks like 300 degree around the whole car with the lights. And so that's why I do it that way. It just depends on how many lights you're gonna have on your car. It really doesn't matter per se, but that's what I do. So anyways, same thing, Siren 2, come here, highlight it, paste, bam, and now that's good. And then you always want to save it before you close it. So save, and then that's it right there for that. And then also you want to make sure you have the colors too, because I did forget about that. So red was blue, or Siren 1 was red is what I meant to say. Wow. So actually we got to go back. Cheat sheet. Oh, not cheat sheet. That is the wrong thing. I meant to do the carcals file. Edit. So we want to make sure that Siren 1 is red, which it is. And then blue is Siren 2. Copy. Now the sirens are also connected with the amber lights. And we don't have... There we go. So you just do that, save it again, and then that's it. So yeah, our sirens are connected with the amber lighting, and we only have 4 sirens, and then the other 2 are going to be facing forward. So we won't have any amber lighting emissives, or not emissives, and environmentals. We won't have any amber environmentals because we have them connected to each other. On a normal day, I probably would have just had the amber lighting by themselves, and then they would just flash amber. But for the sake of the tutorial, I just wanted to do 4 sirens, and that's the reason why. So I just connected them together. But just realize that if you do the same method and you just have those lights set up by themselves, then you can just use the amber color and then it'll be amber. It'll make more sense when it's actually in game. But now that we got that done, then you go. So then all you gotta do is just untick those, and then we'll open up 3 and 4. Which is the front, which those are already set up. So then we just need 3, which is going to be, 3 was red, right? Yeah, 3 is red. So same thing, just copy that, which we got to bring the carcals file back up. We closed it. And then find Siren 3, which we're here, color red. And then Siren blue is blue, which is already, or Siren 4, wow, Siren blue. Siren 4 is already blue, so that's good. And then we also want to make sure the rotations on them are 0, which they are, so those are all set up and good. So the carcals file is pretty much done until we have to work on the pattern itself, but we'll worry about that in a second. So everything else is pretty much good to go. So now what you have to do is open up the lights again, looks funny, I know. Make sure your pivot mode is still off. You're gonna highlight it all, right? You're gonna go to properties. You're gonna go down to scale. And this is where that scale 10 I was talking about. When we were showing you the cargos file, I'll show you again in a second. But when I come here, you want to go 0.1, because if you multiply 0.1 times 10, it'll bring you back to the normal size of the lights. The reason why you do this is because in the game, the GTA doesn't actually turn off the cargos. The cargos are just smaller inside of something, and you just don't see it. And then when you turn your lights on, it enlarges the cargos, and then that's when you actually see them. But the lights, or I said cargos, I should say the sirens. But the sirens themselves don't actually turn off. You know what I mean? Like ELS, for example, their sirens are extras, and you just turn the extras on and off, and that's how that works. But non-ELS, the lights don't actually turn off. They're just small, and then they get enlarged. And so you do 0.1. That's just what I do, so it makes it very tiny. So that when you turn your lights on, or when you put your light bar back on, you see how it's in between the light bar, and you don't see it. So now it just appears that it's off, and then obviously you have your takedowns, but that's, you know, whatever. Actually, oh yeah, because we attached the hot feed, so now the lights doesn't appear through the extra because it's yeah, I didn't realize the hot feed glass was attached to the hot feed, so it's kind of like that. So we'll probably leave the extra out of it, because extra one we're not going to turn off because it's just the sake of the tutorial. But in a real car, I would have made sure to detach the glass from the hot feed, so that way it didn't do that, because the siren or the extra 12 is under extra 1, it doesn't appear through the glass because I attached the glass to extra 1. Unlike the siren glass is its own thing. So whatever. All right, so now that's pretty much done. You want to make sure you come to material browser, and then you have to find the light emitters for your light bar and make sure it's on the top of everything, and that way it'll appear through everything. So it was down here somewhere because it's how I merged it, but you just want to make sure you put it on top, and then that's pretty much it. So now that's done, right? So we have the lights here. We already made it smaller, so now it's the same thing we did with the light bar. You just have to compound it just like that. Very simple. Like look how easy that is. And you just literally just do this for all of it. Like, it's very simple, not hard at all. That's literally it right there. And that's it. Bam. Then you just tick it, and then highlight it, and then you put it in here. Make sure you put it above siren glass so it appears through the siren glass when you do turn it on. And then you turn on that siren, turn on your extras, and bam, and that's it. And then you just go down like this, you grab it, and you bring it in, and you put it in there, bam. And then extra 12 we can actually copy, convert to dummy, so that way we can actually LOD that too. So siren 12, and then we just gotta find the actual extra, which is there, bring it up, and put it in there. Bam. So now siren 12 is also LOD'd, and then that's pretty much it. And then you just close it up, then change the name. Our card name is Non-ELS, so we'll just change it to Non-ELS_high. I always do that because it makes the file smaller, and then I copy the high file, which I'll show you in a second. But what we got to do now is we're gonna have to come over here and create our light pattern. So we know that we have siren 1, we have siren 2, siren 3, and siren 4, right? So then what you want to do, I always kind of create a space here like that. So now we got to figure out, how do we want them to flash? So we know we want 1 and 2 to flash against each other, right? So we'll just do a simple, oops, messed that up. We'll just do a simple flash back and forth for siren 1 and 2. And you get 32 numbers. So let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, and 32, right? Then we'll go here and you just do the opposite of that. And so that's going to be like just a basic ass flash flash on, flash off for siren 1 and siren 2. Then we want siren 3 and 4. Let's do a longer flash on, longer flash off, longer flash on, longer flash off, longer flash on, longer flash off, longer flash on, longer flash off. And then let's do off for that. So let's go on and do the opposite real quick. And then, so now they both turn off here. And then we're going to do maybe stay on for a little bit and then go off, and then that'll be the end of that. Wait, empty 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Let me make that 0. That's probably the closest I can get it. Just something basic. This is literally like nothing. This is just stupid, but I'm just trying to show you it working. So you want to highlight that, right? And then you're going to come back to your converter. Remember, we talked about this earlier. And then you want to put it in there, and it's going to convert it to a number. So you copy that number, and then I usually just put it next to it, so it'd be like that. Then same thing, copy this number, paste, convert, copy. You literally just do this the whole time. Copy, paste, convert, copy, bring it back up, paste, copy, paste, convert, copy, bring it back up, paste. And then I hit save so we don't lose that. Bring this back up, non-ELS, carpals, edit, right? Then we bring this, put it like right here. So we're gonna copy this number. This is your siren 1, so we gotta go back up to siren 1. Go to flashiness, sequencer, paste. Copy this one, copy siren 2, sequencer, paste. Copy this file, scroll down, sequencer, paste. Copy this file, scroll down, siren 4, sequencer, paste. And then that's literally it. This car is pretty much done. Now we just gotta put it in game, test it, which is it's gonna work, and that's pretty much it. We already did the colors, we already did the rotations. Yeah, that is literally it. Oh yeah, and then remember the scale factor times 10, so that's why we made it 0.1 when we did the scale factor. So now you know it's gonna multiply it by 10. So then that's literally it. And then, you know, just make sure, like I said, that's 1,000, and then the car variation file was 1,000, or 1 million, I mean. So that's pretty much it. All the other files are done. You can just go and close these. It really doesn't matter. And yeah, and then you just have the stream here, which is where we're gonna put the car file at, and then you just put all these files into the server. And yeah, so I'll be right back. I don't want to show you guys none of that stuff because it's long and tedious for one, and for two, it's got all the server information. I don't want y'all to have that. So we're gonna go on and make a real quick cut for you guys. It'll be like literally a second. For me, it's gonna probably be like 10 minutes. So I'll catch you guys in a second. All right, I am back. Before we actually do tests, I just wanted to let you know you're gonna need obviously OpenIV because you gotta be able to add the light bar textures into the same YTD for the vehicle. So I already imported the car here just so we can check it. So if you click on it, this is what it looks like. This is what it'll look like in game. You don't see the lights yet because, like I said, it's inside the light bar. Remember, we made it smaller. So you will see it. You can see the extra 12 though, the emissive. It just doesn't look bright because it's OpenIV. But you'll see what I mean when we put it in game and actually test it. Just wanted to let you know if you didn't know that. You should know that though. I mean, ZMod's been around since the beginning of GTA, and GTA's been around for almost 10 years. So I feel like you should know about OpenIV already. This is just a tutorial on non-ELS. All the other stuff, everyone should already kind of have an idea of. At least if you're looking at this tutorial, you probably already know how to make cars a little bit, or you at least know how to mod GTA. So OpenIV should be something very common for you. Anyways, I'll see you guys in a second. All right, we are back. So now we gotta go spawn the car. Vehicle spawner. Remember, we named it non-ELS, so that's the car. And there's the car right there. So don't mind the siren. I don't know why it sounds like that. That is not sirens. That's We have a siren script, so we can actually have more than one siren in our server. So I don't know what siren that is. I gotta talk to the other guys to figure out why they have that weird siren in the game. But anyways, beside the point. So you guys can see extra 12 works. So that's what I use as takedowns. So basically, with our script, if you just go to text chat, you do E12, and it literally turns it off. It's that simple. So like if you pull up to somebody at night and you want to turn your takedowns on, you just turn your high beams on, then you go extra 12, bam, that's it. Easy as that. And then there you go. That's the lights right there. So as you guys can see, that's the light pattern we went with. I know it's freaking ugly, it's stupid, but it was just for the sake of the tutorial. But as you guys can see, it actually works. You know what I'm saying? It's cool. And then if we go roll options time, let's go midnight so you guys can see that night. So you turn it on, and there you go. And you guys can see how the actual light emissives are in the back and in the front of the car. Or not the emissives, I meant the environmentals. So there's none on the side of the car because we didn't have any dummies for the side, but it's also because of the way the light bar is created. But if you're gonna have extra lights on your car, like side runners, or maybe you'll put some mirror lights or whatever, you can have those point to the side, and they'll give you the emissive or the environmentals for the sides of the car. But as you guys can see, the front and the back works. So I mean, that's pretty much it. It has the light pattern that we wanted to go with. The long pauses for the ones in the middle. And then you obviously have the side where it just flashes back and forth. And that's literally it. I mean, that's non-ELS. And you pretty much do that same process for all the lights. So if you want to have ram bar lights or grill lights or mirror lights or, a deck light or, whatever. I mean, whatever you want to do with your car, right? It's the same process. Literally just follow that same process for each light. So, obviously the tutorial is for the light bar because that's the main thing you're going to have on a car, the light bar. But it's the same process for any other light. Guys, that's pretty much it. I just wanted to show you guys a car that I have on server that I created, but it wouldn't spawn, so I think I might have to re-add it in the game. It's some stuff happened with our server in the past couple of days, so we had to re-add a bunch of stuff, so it might not got added yet, but it's pretty much it. The car works. You guys can see how it's done. That's pretty much it. So anyways, if you guys enjoyed this, please leave a like, subscribe. Also, go to my Discord. You can ask questions there. Let me know if it worked for you. I also want to see what you guys come up with. That'd be pretty cool. And yeah, I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace out, y'all.